on, let's go, boy.
Quick. Aha! People can see us. What is going on, folks? We're back. Talking Jet Li.
We're talking Jet Li and not necessarily magical, but friendly Negroes.
And Mario.
All in one magical. I think he was magical. I don't care what you say.
No, he wasn't magical. Dude.
He wasn't magical.
You want to know why he wasn't magical? Because he didn't. First of all, at the end of the movie, Morgan Freeman did not gain an extra freckle for everything he did to help Jet Li.
Okay. I will say this, but he did have the aesthetic of a helpful Negro. Like, would you press that key, son? You know, sometimes in life, he had this speech of a magical nigga. So you know what I love more than anything in this? The first thing we hear is Bob Hoskins and Cockney. That's all you hear. I love it.
We hear Bob Hoskins channeling the most early alpha build of the Penguin from the Arkham games.
I mean, look, this is a movie that correct me if I'm wrong, Eris. This is one of those movies much like Taken where they had already filmed it over in France and they didn't hit it to America until like months later after the fact.
Yeah, it came out in Europe. It came out in, if I'm not mistaken, it came out in London first because this was more a European movie than.
Oh, heavy European more than anything else.
Like more than American. You can tell it's kind of like how it was with Kiss of the Dragon. Kiss of the Dragon, I believe, came out in France before it came out in the States.
Yeah, you can tell it's one of those French English movies that you can tell that two types of there was two maybe three countries. There was two maybe three different countries taking part in the movie. It's that same one.
I ain't gonna lie. This was like 2005 where Mrs. Sue over here was like, guys, you gotta understand Luc Besson is genius. You watch this movie called District B13. I swear to God, guys, you're gonna laugh at this shit. Every time I went inside the fucking BX, that goddamn movie was staring at me as soon as I walked inside. I felt like Eris was like hounding me to watch this fucking movie, and then I ended up watching it in 2005, and I was like, I see why Eris likes Luc Besson. God damn it, this guy's a fucking genius.
Dude, Luc Besson was doing his thing, man. This was a good movie. It was I'm not even gonna lie to you. This was a legit good movie.
Yeah. The whole crux of the movie, we ain't gonna really like go beat for beat, but the whole crux of the movie is Bob Hoskins plays a very cockney. He's a loan shark, and basically, Danny's the son of a prostitute that he fucked and she died, pretty much. And Danny, he had a violent rage to him as a kid, and that kind of.
It's like, come on, D, you can do it.
See, we can do it. He's on mute. Oh my God, nah, but yeah, like Danny basically had a violent streak to him, and we ended up finding out through Bart that Bart was like, hey, this kid got some special talent to him. He can fight. He got some. I like to cut this kid's jib here, and instantly. Danny ends up becoming pretty much like a dog, because I think the title of this movie was Danny.
Yeah,
the dog, right?
The European title is Danny the dog.
Yeah, and basically Danny has a little leash, and every time Bart needs some fucking shit going down, he takes the leash off, and Danny, as the movie title, is unleashed. See,
yeah, which I think is probably the laziest shit ever. I honest to God, I fucking hated that title.
I didn't think you really hated it that bad till you actually mentioned it. And I was like, oh, damn, Sue really hates the title.
No, I really do. I really did. Like, when I felt... I first saw the... Like, hold on, dude. I saw the... What I was saying was when I saw the movie, I first saw the original title. It was Danny the Dog. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then when I saw it was being released in the U.S. as Unleashed, I was like, what? And you can tell this is 2005 because how many movies, or just products in general, came out with the words "Unleashed," "Underground," "Revolution," "Reloaded"? You know, how many subtitles has that shit been added?
I want people to understand too that this movie also, they heavily promoted RZA being on the soundtrack because RZA is one of those guys that's like, come on guys, you got to put me on the soundtrack, man. I can make the soundtrack pop. And I'm like, RZA, I get it. You like this kind of stuff. That's cool. But even though the majority of this movie's music was done by Massive Attack. Yeah. Oh, what are you saying, D?
And I can't tell that Massive Attack did this. I can't tell that Attack did this soundtrack. I cannot tell.
It's like Mass Effect. I'm like, what? Oh my god! But I think this is isn't this like our second time we talked about Bob Hoskins in the film?
Unless we did.
Did we do Who Framed? No, we didn't do Who Framed.
We didn't do Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, this is the first time we did a Bob Hoskins movie, and I think people that never really followed Bob Hoskins' career, they never knew he was a Brit.
Yeah, they never did.
Because his English, his accent in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just his American kind of accent is like, man, that shit was like perfect.
Shit, it's not even Who Framed Roger Rabbit. How about the way he played? He played an Italian from New York in Mario Brothers.
That was full blown New Yorkian like a motherfucker.
It was.
Hey Luigi, hey.
He was like, my name, like I'm Mario.
Luigi Mario.
The dumbest shit ever.
I mean, look, credit to him, man, because even me as a kid, I never knew he was a Brit and stuff. And to be honest with you, it wasn't until like I hit high school that I figured out that like he was a Brit. I was like, oh, he was a Brit. He had a very good accent. I was like, wow, I swear to God, I thought he was American because to be honest with you, Bob Hoskins' career, it was really just Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Mario, and then this movie that I've really seen of him and stuff. Even though I know his career is very expansive, this is the only two movies I've really seen him in and stuff like that. So
I would say it's the only two films that people knew. No, sorry, the only three Bob Hoskins films that people know him of.
Oh no, Hook. My bad, forgot Hook.
Oh yeah, that's right. He played Smee in Hook. So the only four movies that Bob Hoskins has been in, only to the uninitiated.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of one of those things that it's a blink and you miss thing also because he was in Snow White and the Huntsman as one of the dwarves. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of one of those like, oh, it's Bob Hoskins. He's right there. And it's like, oh, but he's in his British form. So obviously he's in Snow White and the Huntsman as a dwarf where he just has his regular Brit accent. So it's like, all right, cool.
And real talk, like when you look at him in Hook, he's the perfect Smee. He was perfect as Smee.
I mean, when he's taking all the gold and then that was gosh, Hook was a very strange movie.
It was a very strange take on Peter Pan. Real talk.
The alligators what throws me off every time.
No, because Spielberg was supposed to. That movie was supposed to come out in like 85.
Look, it had a very 80s feel to it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in the 80s. That's why it came out in 1990, 1991.
I think 91, 92 or something like that.
Like it came out he pushed it back and put it out in the early 90s.
Yeah,
but you could definitely see the 80s vibe to it.
Fucking Godchild's like, I thought he was Italian. I swear to God, dog. Look, if you told me Bob Hoskins was Italian, I'd be like, I believe it. He has that Italian look to him and stuff. I mean, it is. The funny thing is, everybody kept thinking he was supposed to be Wolverine. At one point when they were considering an X-Men
if they were to make an X-Men movie, if they had made an X-Men movie in the early 90s, like right at the height of the cartoon's popularity, they would have either tapped him or Danny DeVito to play Wolverine. Yeah.
Well, what's funny? If we're talking about that, there was another movie I seen him in. It was him and Denzel Washington, Heart Condition. He played a this is actually kind of relevant to the times. He played a very savory racist cop that had a heart attack, and Denzel Washington's character, who he was very racist against, he ends up receiving a heart transplant from Denzel Washington character who actually died earlier in the movie. So when he's walking around with Denzel Washington character's heart, he sees Denzel Washington the whole time, the whole movie. It's actually a pretty good movie.
I gotta check that. Movie. Okay, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's actually a really good movie, man. It's wild as hell, man. And I was like, bruh, man. It's crazy. And I'm like, if you told me he played a bigoted cop, I was like, I believe it. He does a really good job playing a very bigoted cop. And it's great, man.
Yep.
But in this movie, it leans more on the dramatic than the action. Like, do you remember? Because you remember the commercials kind of played up like it's action packed.
Yeah, I was just gonna point that out. Like the trailers and especially the TV spots, they definitely played up. Oh, this is a high octane, balls to the wall action film,
like Luc Besson.
Like produced by Luc Besson. And oh god, the super cringy Jet Li is unleashed. Oh,
and I mean, to be fair,
stop doing that.
It's Louis Ledner who actually did the Transporter 2 movie. He did the sequel to Transporter.
Yeah. He did, the Transporter.
So him and Luc Besson,
which was also a good movie.
Him and Luc Besson, they've been kind of buddies for a while and stuff. So it's like you put him and Luc Besson, who's producing the movie and stuff. I see why they lean heavily on it, because did District B13 drop before this movie? In America?
God, no. District B13, that came out. That was what, 08, 09?
So it's after this. So at this point, we know about Luc Besson in America already up to this point anyways.
Right.
So it made sense to use his name and producing credit, because this is Louis Ledner's first movie. This is before he did Incredible Hulk later on and all that stuff, and Transporter 2. So it's like it made sense for them to market it as such, like, all right, Luc Besson doing it. And then when you watch the movie, it's you start to understand why critics fell over themselves with this film. Because
the action starts like literally minute one.
It starts minute one, but it's also the other aspect of the dramatic side, because Jet Li, number one, he isn't doing a lot of talking. It's very
he really doesn't do that much talking.
It's more so him doing physical, emotional acting. And it's basically Morgan Freeman and the other chick, which
his stepdaughter,
which it's strange. They posit Danny and her as a possible couple, but they didn't really do it as a couple. Like they tried that one scene and it was just like awkward. Thankfully, they played it up as awkward and then they just walked away from it.
No, I can answer that.
Okay.
And that is because Jet Li is a devout Taoist.
Ooh, okay.
That's why you never seen him have any love scene in any of his movies.
So that explains Romeo Must Die pretty much.
Yeah.
Why
he will be like, you watch him in Romeo Must Die, he's a complete gentleman like throughout the whole movie. Like you just look at him and the lead, like, oh, they make a cute couple, knowing damn well that Jet Li in this movie is in his fucking 40s and shit. He's like,
I thought Jet Li was in his 30s at least, wasn't he? In Romeo Must Die?
Let's think about this for a second. No, dude.
God, no.
Hold on. First of all, you're talking about a known martial artist who did a martial arts demonstration for Richard Nixon when he was 8.
Never mind. I'm still laughing at the fact that people will, like you said, they saw him and Lee. It's like they make a cute couple. That's an awkward ass couple.
It was awkward. It was awkward, but it was cute. I'm not gonna lie, it was cute. Yeah. But no, but that's the reason why. Like especially if you watch any of Jet's other movies, especially the ones overseas. He would never necessarily, like, he'll have a romantic interest, but he'll always play the role of him already being a husband, wife, husband with wife and kids and stuff. And you just see the emotional connection that he has, like, with said love interest. But you would never see him film a love scene, period.
You remember they tried to make him an Aaliyah thing?
Yeah, like I said.
Aaliyah.
Yeah, and we already mentioned. That's what I said about Romeo Must Die. They tried to make it a thing, but instead they just made it cute.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Chris, his mom was not a hooker. His mom was forced into prostitution. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so so basically,
one does not go from playing Beethoven to sucking dick in a single flash. So like
basically,
that, okay?
Keeping it relevant to today's world, she got sex trafficked, basically.
I'm sorry, today's world. Hey, Chris, sex trafficking been a
Since
thing
forever. My
1,000
bad.
years before you were
Yeah, my
born.
bad. My bad.
It's not even sex trafficking. It was just, hey, check this out. I see you
No,
behind.
it was Tuesday.
Like not even. Damn, that's even worse. No, D. It was more like this. Okay, I see you behind on your rent. I also see that light bills need to be paid, and some other stuff. Some other stuff you need to get paid too. Listen, I'm gonna help you out, but I'm gonna need you to polish my knob over here.
Go on, Eric. Go on, Eric. And that boy, like, come on, Christopher. We all anime fans. We all see what the Yakuza does when he walk over to the girl's house. Be a shame if you will go into prostitution because your husband's gambling debts. It's always gambling.
I mean, look.
No. Actually, if we really want to take it into that territory, do you have to say it like this? First of all, flashback to Bob Hoskins. Seeing flashback Bob Hoskins. Remember, Bob Hoskins has a full head of hair, and his hair covers his eyes. If he has no eyes, he is true villain.
Shut up. I'm mad that you say he had a full head of hair, because every time I saw that dude, he was like, that's not Bob.
That's not Bob Robert at all. But
that's not Robert at all. No, that man's a clear foot taller than Bob. Bob Hoskins and Danny DeVito are about 3 inches apart. So fuck you. That was young Bob Hoskins.
No, but I'm just saying that is the level of villain.
Sir, you sure that wasn't a young Boris Johnson?
Yo, no, here's the deal. Also, Eric, it's a good indication that he's a villain is just not by his Cockney accent, but by the fact that he wears all white around a drab atmosphere around him.
The most overcast French. Yo, where's the fucking blue skies, dog? Why is it overcast?
Hey, Chris, I watch soccer. There's no such thing as a blue sky in England until May, and you only get like 5 of them.
Check it out. They could have filmed this shit. No, check it out, D. They could have filmed this shit in August, and you still wouldn't know.
You still wouldn't know. Yo, how the fuck was I watching? Hey, yo, how a couple years ago, not too long ago, we was watching the Olympics in London, and I'm like this. It was gonna rain soon. Yo, it ain't overcast almost all 12 days of the fucking Olympics.
I swear to God, Justice League is the most fictional story ever. Wonder Woman, the Whedon cut is the most fictional story ever. How the fuck is Wonder Woman standing with a blue sky? This is bullshit, Whedon.
Hold up, Mr. GC. Bob Hoskins passed a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Long time ago. Man, if I'm not mistaken, he died not too long after this movie.
Not too long
2012. 7 years after.
Yeah, about 7 years.
Yeah. So it's
man, you know what?
Snow White and the Huntsman was his last movie before he died. That's the crazy part. They actually dedicated that movie. Snow White and the Huntsman. They dedicated that movie to him after he died.
He was in that?
Yeah, he was one of the 7 dwarfs.
I missed it.
Yeah, dude. Like I said earlier, when you cut out and stuff, it's one of those movies where it's like a blink and you miss because it was him, Ian McShane.
Wasn't it?
Ray Winston, Nick Frost, which Nick Frost has a face where it's like, yeah, that's Nick Frost.
I'm sorry. Stop right there, Chris. You said Ray Winston. No. Ray Winston was in that? No.
Toby Jones.
Here's the fun thing about Ray Winston. You can pretty much tell me that he was in it, and I will believe you automatically.
I mean, Eddie
Ray
Marson
Winston always pops up in those movies.
Eddie Marson is another Brit that was in it. I was like, I'm not surprised. Eddie Marson is obviously in every British production.
And then you gotta get that one person that was in Game of Thrones because it was hot at the time. It has to be like one person. It ain't like one of the top tier people.
Oh wait, hold on, and you also got to add one other person, Chris. Pre Governor Walking Dead, Dave Morrissey.
Yep.
Oh, yep. Hey, speaking of what I just said, Game of Thrones, Chris. You want to know whose price skyrocketed, but yet I have yet to see him in any movie? Kit Harington. I don't know.
Oh no, he was in Eternals. Eternals was supposed to blow
I know he
him
was
up
in
even
Eternals, but I just like the fact that even during that whole show, I was like, this nigga does no movies. Meanwhile, homegirl that plays Cersei, I forgot her name right now.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
She was in everything. She did every fucking movie.
Awesome.
Nigga that played Jamie did every fucking movie that went up to him. Kit Harington. No, I'm cool.
Yo, Marvel came to him and was like,
look, when they told that nigga he was gonna be Jon Snow, they killed his parents off and said, you better not tell nobody. The way they treated him, man.
Feige looked at Kit Harington and was like, "How would you like to play Jon Snow again? Except you're the Black Knight." Sure. Why not? Sure.
Depressed.
Just depressed.
Stares in depression.
I feel so bad for Kit Harington. That motherfucker got depression because they ended the show. And I know what it was, but my character wasn't. His arc is not all the way finished.
It's like you revived me.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yo.
No, it's not.
He had the sigh of relief when they killed his character off, and then they went up to him, "Hey, we're reviving your character back." No.
Yeah, he went to that real hair like Jon Snow. You know how Jon Snow always had that look of, let's just kill ourselves. Like he always had that look.
He was so glad they killed him off, and when they told him they revive, he was like, "No.
Why y'all bring me back, nigga? I was chilling in hell. My mama was there."
No, but I like how. Okay, going back to this movie, I like how the thing that gets Danny to leave Bart is the fact that the guy that Bart is dealing with looks at Danny like, if I keep this collar on this nigga, this motherfucking Bart don't got shit on me. All right, hey Bart, how about you come in this back room here and leave Danny out there? All right, cool. Hey Danny, help me! And he's just staring at him. Danny, help! Danny's like, yeah.
Is it just me? Hold on, is it just me or the dude that set that shit up? Like, doesn't he look like the same dude from the first Transporter?
Yes, he does. I think that might be the same dude. When
he gives Frank Martin the gym bag and he says, "Don't, like, you already know the rule. Don't open the package." I'm like, what is with these foreign movies that always gets this guy? He always plays like this fucking smarmy ass bad guy.
Never deal with somebody that's smarter than you, because he already saw the jig and was like, and I already know this guy's a mark.
I like the fact that nigga was like,
I'm putting you over here, keep Danny over there. As long as you don't remove the collar, he ain't gonna do shit.
I just like you know what's cool, man? You know what's real cool about that nigga? That nigga trained like a motherfucker. So, what if we just beat your ass over there while he stands right beside me? Fuck him up. It almost worked too, didn't it? He was like, didn't have fucking plot armor on him. That whole scene would have been the end of the movie.
See, here's where they fucked up, D. This is where they fucked up. Instead of just saying, "Oh, we'll beat your ass in front of him where you can't reach him," here's me. Hi, DJ Sue, 3 Black Geeks. Bad guys. Here's a better idea. Shoot Danny in the head.
Yeah.
Kill Danny. If you kill Danny, boom.
See, here's the thing.
You have hold on. You kill Danny, you have all day to beat Bob Hoskins' ass.
Why are you going to get in the same room?
Wait, D, and check this out. It's only 9:00 in the morning. My nigga, you got all day.
All day.
My nigga, 9:00 they do the deal. 9:30, Danny kills the fucking champion of the underground of WWE Underground and shit in one hit. And then that's when the dude was like, and let me put the collar back on. Fuck up Bart. I'm like, wow, didn't even waste any time, huh? All right.
Man, I'm like, but look, but Chris, but think about it. If he would have went into the underground thing, D-Mob would have done everything to stop him. So I don't think that would have been a good idea.
When he went into the underground,
nobody goes against nobody goes against D-Mob.
No, D, you said it wrong. Nobody ever beats me.
I mean, let's be real.
Now, no, wait. He goes
Chris
into
Judd didn't know at the time, but he was going to be Kratos.
Yeah. When he goes into the underground ring and he has that fight against like the toughest dude ever, right?
Yo, how'd you like the jobber that showed up on WWF Superstars?
No, D, check this out. You know that Danny went to work. Because all he did was punch that man punch him in the exact spot in the throat 3 times.
I mean, it was it just fell over. I'm like, well, in the words of everybody else, grand opening, grand closing. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Bart sat there and collected all that money. He was like, oh my God, I'm so making it rain tonight.
Let me tell you something, boy. You can get anything you want. What do you want? I want a piano. This fun. You don't want a woman. Don't want that.
So you never been with a woman? Like you never been with a woman? I want a piano.
The nigga want a piano. Look, Eris, it's always these it's always these movies where we got to get a dramatic performance out of a martial artist, right?
Yes.
If you're just giving what they want, half of this shit won't happen. And the last time we did this, all Jackie Chan wanted was one.
All he wanted was just the names.
That won't even be a movie. If you're just giving it, okay, now it's going to have to be a plot.
See,
But in this case, trust me. And he said, all right, Daddy, I'll give you the best piano ever. Even if you get, even if
he was lying, which he clearly was. Even
if you gave Danny a Tonka fucking piano,
that nigga wasn't going to give him that. No, that motherfucker was going to get a piece of cardboard, have one of his boys draw keys on it, and put piano and spell piano wrong.
Nigga would have got a fucking black Sharpie and just
first of all, no. First of all, no, you got to do it right. The P has to be backwards, the A has to be upside down, and the O is a 0.
Well, he's like this. He's like, Daddy looking at one little rear creature, and somebody like, yeah, that's a truck. That's a truck.
See,
I mean, that's what he did. Look, it's either that or he would have got the cheapest Casio ever. You know, the
man.
No. Check it out. Because this is around that same timeline, he would have got that same toy piano from Hustle and Flow.
but nah. Danny gets found by Morgan Freeman doing his best blind Bill Cosby.
But none of that would have happened, Chris. None of that would have happened if M. Bison didn't show up out of nowhere and hit that fucking car. Then have his Shadow Law members get out the fucking car and light that bitch up.
Do you mean them getting hit by the Shadow Law U-Haul truck?
Yes, sir. That was a Shadow Law. That was actually Shadow Law dump truck this time.
Shadow Law dump truck.
Look, different ship.
I just like how Danny came out. Again, he's in a daze because he's bleeding and shit. He's helping Sam out with the piano and stuff, and he falls out, and then Sam brings him to his house. And apparently, Danny's been out for about 2 days. He's been knocked out for 2 days.
He was knocked out for 2 days. Stayed with Sam for like 2 weeks. Never left the house.
Stop calling him Sam. His name is Bleeding Gums Murphy.
blind Bleeding Gums Murphy.
Look. I'm like, look.
No, GC, he did not survive unscathed. First of all, he came out of there. He did get shot in the arm.
Oh yeah.
He did.
He was bleeding out of his arm.
No, he was bleeding out from his arm, man. Because Blind Master Morgan Freeman over here was like, I smell blood.
Yo, I like that idea because Morgan Freeman was about to get real nasty. Oh yeah. I saved it for you. That nigga whipped out his dick and everything. Wait a minute, somebody in his room. Excuse me, that nigga was about to fuck a piano. Hold on. It's Morgan Freeman. Let's see where this goes.
You know something? I thought was interesting. It was interesting seeing Morgan Freeman minus the earring.
This is true. Right? This is true.
It was also interesting seeing Morgan Freeman minus, 20/20 vision, but we eventually had to get a blind Morgan Freeman.
We did get Morgan Freeman with life lessons.
Oh, I mean,
all right. Now I got a good question. Now that is a good question. What counts as a magical Negro for both of y'all? Is it just the life lessons, or do you have to literally do something magical? You have to do something.
Yeah, you have to be.
You have to do something.
You have to be some Bagger Vance shit.
Yeah, you got to be Michael Clark Duncan from the Green Mile. That's magical Negro.
Boss, give me the rap, boss.
Yep.
Hey, look. Relevant to today. I am so glad they did not make Lamar and Cat Falcon Winter Soldier a magical Negro to John. I would have been so mad.
Thank you.
Let me tell you something. White people, and look. I really feel a part of us as Black people should be flattered that white people write us as these sage characters. But it's done in just the weakest way ever. It's like, yeah, I'm giving you all this advice. Wait a minute, white boy, you gonna give me any of the prize money? White boy. It's always like that, So I think that's the reason why everybody don't like the magical Negro.
Thanks,
I think he's all in this sense, he's only magical because he said the exact thing you needed to hear.
But then again, I think that's every black man. That's every black man that lives past 55.
I'm sorry. Morgan Freeman in this movie is not magical Negro.
He's not.
He is just knowledgeable blind Negro.
Well, I mean,
old sage. That's the term. Old sage.
I can't even call him an old sage because that would imply
he's blind.
D.
Nope.
D. I cannot call him. Calling him blind. I mean, calling him a sage implies he has magical powers. Being blind gives you those abilities like by default.
I say no because I say yes, he's a blind sage because to tune a piano, and I say how it takes to tune a piano, takes fucking alchemy. Fuck that shit. That nigga's a sage.
All I'm saying is this man is literally teaching Danny how to be a human being because you know
when you eat food, we often eat it too fast.
Here's a fork. Him and his stepdaughter, Victoria, white chick and stuff.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. Stepdaughter.
Nah, my favorite part was when he gave, like, first of all, Danny woke up, fresh pajamas and everything. He comes in the room with food and goes, Victoria and I, we ain't big on asking questions. So we're just gonna leave it here. We feel, whoever, like, whenever that person's ready, they'll tell us the answers without us.
Like that one time we invited a Crip in our house. He didn't say nothing for 5 days, but eventually he danced for us. God damn it!
The fact that he said we're not. Look, I ain't gonna ask no questions. I'm not. Whenever you're ready, you can come out. You can say whatever you want to say, and we'll just keep it moving.
It's like, I remember this one time I was with this white boy named Andy Dufresne. Me and him were in Mexico. It was fun times, and then I've managed to make myself.
Let me tell you something. That man Andy Dufresne swam through a whole lot of human shit.
But eventually he found his freedom.
That man taught me how to live, and I moved to France and became blind because reasons.
Who knew that a Caucasian can teach an old black man a few things? But guess what? I like how Morgan, guys, we're all born the same year. I like to say that I love how Morgan Freeman, the first time we all seen him, Morgan Freeman was 75, and at this day he's still 75 years old. I just love the fact that he has stayed the same
from humble beginnings where he slaps a white woman in the face as a pimp in Street Smart in front of Superman.
Smart is a good movie until you get to the third act. You're like, wait a minute, what was the movie about again?
Nah, you see, y'all mentioned Street Smarts. I'm the only one who's gonna sit back here and say, I still remember him from that Bell Atlantic commercial where he still looked like he was 48.
Exactly.
Yo, if you want to see earlier that Roots had another series. Roots had a separate series.
Was it Roots Next Generation or some shit like that?
Yeah, Roots Next Generation.
He was in like 5-6 episodes of that, yeah.
Felt like I was watching the fucking beginning of Lean on Me when he was in that dashiki and shit with teaching on white kids.
Yo, didn't Morgan Freeman look like every good black teacher in 1985 that taught a bunch of white kids? Didn't he look like that shit?
Dude, that's the black teacher that's teaching in Montgomery County to all them white kids back in the 80s and shit, before it turned into Little Mexico, because that's where Montgomery County is right now.
Black people.
So it's like, yeah, he's that one who's like, yo, I gotta be militant out in Montgomery County and put this dashiki on.
Teach these little crackers.
about
business.
No, see, first
y'all niggas know motherfucking Marcus Garvey?
Nah, I can't even. No, see, first of all, you can't even say that he was like super public enemy militant in that movie, because you gotta remember he was in his happy place teaching them white kids. He was in his happy place. It wasn't until they gave him his pink slips. That's what I'm saying. Until they gave him his pink slip and he had to move to the hood. Oh, that's when it came out.
You want to see Eris as a teacher? That is exactly Eris as a teacher. D, why are you telling me come back to school? Because they need you here, Eris. I ain't going back to the hood. Nigga, you need to come back to the hood.
No.
We need that.
That's Eris when he came back to America before Trump got elected. Like, son of a bitch. I gotta come back to this bullshit. The fuck, man? The fuck is this shit?
Chris is dead. I don't need to calm down. We need to change the country. Well, as long as you in this country, we're gonna have to deal with this guy.
Nah, CJ.
Hold on, Eris. Hold on. Come on. Let's get something to eat.
CJ is dead on with that one.
It's like
this is your country. This is where you live.
dude, he's like that fucking gif of old. Yeah, he's like old girl from fucking Real Housewives of Atlanta when she's walking down the street. He's like, "Ooh, child, the ghetto." Yes, Eric's coming back to America. The ghetto.
Nigga, I live in the hood and I say that. I turn one counter.
But Sam, aka the Sage, is literally teaching Danny, him and his daughter, teaching him how to basically be a human being. Teach him how to eat. Don't eat with your fingers and shit. Teach him how to dress and dance and listen to music and stuff. And it's actually pretty nice to watch. Danny is.
I would actually say I would take it a step farther. Learn how to love.
Yeah,
he's learning how to love. Now,
notice that was the letter that he kept floating back to in that alphabet book.
Yeah, it's always like there was two of them, and I remember the second I saw piano because I saw this movie only once before. But the second I saw piano, like, oh yeah, the whole piano bit that's gonna be a thing. And then I saw love, like, well, of course, that's what he's seeking.
I mean, it's him. It's him. It's Danny gets.
He was fixated on just two letters in that book.
I mean, this is Danny literally just trying to get to that level of humanity where he can just live, basically. Maybe not be by himself, obviously, because he still isn't there in the head all the way, but just be a human being and stuff.
I'm gonna say it, Chris. I'm gonna say it. He just needed. Oh, damn it! He just needed.
Barry, like, oh my god, I can't take it no more.
Did we have a True Lies moment where he's talking? He was like, "Dead battery."
No, what? No, he had what? I would say all he needed, real talk, was he needed Dominic Toretto.
Yeah.
Family.
Only thing that's missing was a Dodge Charger just rolling through the building.
No, hold on.
See,
Take it. Wait, no. Hold on.
This
is no. See, this is 2005. Well, no. He did have the Challenger. He had the Challenger. He did have the No, he had the Challenger. But no, let's use the Dominic Toretto that nobody talks about. RX-7 Dominic Toretto.
It don't matter if you win by inch or mile. Winning is me.
You know what?
I live
that is a
DLC
that we don't talk about with Dominic.
No one talks about that.
No one talk about
Here's the thing.
RX-7 Dominic.
He started off with the RX-7, and then the movie was like, "Yeah, I'm Supra." Well, now all of a sudden I'm muscle car, and I'm like, "Where the fuck did this transformation come from?" Now
it's called. Hey, Chris, when you say what is this transformation? It's called executive producer Vin Diesel.
I'm a Dodge man now. I'm like, all right.
I love how Vin Diesel through two movies physically changed his character. You can really tell like it ain't me enough.
now all of a sudden he's fucking Superman catching cars flipping, and I'm like, fuck you, Vin. I hate you.
Hey Chris, I already told you I tapped out, I'm out. You're gonna have to deal with your circus on your own. All right. The way I'm feeling right now, the way I'm feeling with you right now is the way everybody feels with me when I watch wrestling. Have fun with your crazy shit, D.
Sir, we're gonna watch Fast 9 as a family.
I'm sorry. Hey, Chris. I'm sorry. Who? Actually, that being said, if we all go to the movie theaters, yeah, fuck. Yeah, we got yeah, sure, yeah. Family, yeah.
Family.
Only thing I ask for is all of us wear motherfucking white beaters.
I mean, I have been putting time in the gym, so
No. Actually, Chris, the sloppier the better.
Dude, I'm past. See, the thing is, I can't do sloppy at this point. I'm doing pretty good. Now you're gonna have me go on a bender. Like, all right, I guess I gotta go sloppy now.
Chris get a big ass gut, a serious gut.
Like, God damn it.
I was kidding, nigga. Nigga, you look like a cauldron pot, nigga. Why the fuck you?
I was doing so well. Do you have me eat this tub of ice cream? Now I got a gut. This is bullshit. I hate this.
Look. Again, Chris, I don't know who the fuck you saying made you, nigga. Did I touch your hand? Did I die?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir.
No, wait, D, you did. No, D. No, you did it. You did it even better. See, you didn't touch his hand. You unleashed the collar.
All I did was unleash the collar. So you know what, Chris? See, Harris? This is why the three black geeks are better than everybody. We always look at that. Jet Li. See, I did it again.
Hey, I would give the credit to the fact of him teaching his humanity. I like that it took Danny a while before he finally literally had to let go of that collar as being part of him and stuff. Because
you got to give it up to Luc Besson that he really took his time to really show that there's a growth with this character, that they're trying to be somebody different. But I really kind of thought it was kind of like really just they slammed on the fucking accelerator the second he saw homeboy at the on the corner.
Like, when he's on the street, hey Danny, what's going on, man? You got all this
accelerator. Next thing you know, this nigga's in the fucking office. Next thing you know, he's about to fight again.
Which is wait, hold on.
This whole time, but spit that part up. That just
this is something I want to bring up, which is actually a really cool thing about the cinematography. The transitions in this movie was just beautiful.
I mean, like, on to his credit, he knows how to transition the fuck out of stuff. So,
like one of my favorite scenes was watching probably my favorite transition was the sand, was the freaking punch, or was it the sandbag? Seeing the sand leak out, and it eventually transitioned to like a drink or something.
Yeah,
and just like every transition period was shot really good.
Side note, Billy Connolly was supposed to play Bart instead of Bob Hoskins. Just putting it out there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. But yeah, I did kind of laugh though. He did kind of roll in there and be like, "Hey, Danny, where you been, man? Got fresh clothes? You looking nice."
I mean, first of all, you know for a fact that everybody in this movie, like everybody that got shot up, in that car, I'm like, dude, nobody's dead.
Oh, Bart has been struggling since Danny has been gone.
Yeah, he has. How long is he gonna keep up that lie of homeboy coming to him like, so when are you gonna bring your boy back for the fight? Oh, yeah. And remember, I want this fight to be interesting.
I mean,
look, make it entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy. Fresh clothes, and he's back in the fucking fighting ring and shit. And I was like, and look, the fights with Danny is actually pretty dope because
they were.
And the thing of it is, it's cool too because when Bart gets Danny back in there, Danny initially was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna fight." And it isn't until fucking Bart shoves his ass in the fucking damn ring. It was like, "No, you're gonna fucking fight." Danny pretty much is like, "Yeah, I guess I gotta defend myself. Fuck it."
I love how they did that too, man.
How did you like him getting tossed into the freaking Mortal Kombat pit with with Scott Atkins and who else? Like Scott Atkins and a bunch of stunt performers.
Question: did y'all like this one, or did you like the one in Cradle to the Grave where he was in the UFC pit?
First of all, seeing Jet Li punch Chuck Liddell in the throat,
I can watch that all day.
Oh, and then also seeing him roundhouse kick Tito Ortiz in the back of the head is also great.
Also,
again, I can watch that shit all day.
Also, Tom Arnold with the fucking Texas mustache. Give me $500 on the Chinaman.
Right.
I'm sorry, what? The Chinaman?
No. Oh, and also my favorite one. He picks up Wee Man and goes, "Man," he said, "Put me down, I'm gonna kick your ass, Bruce." And he just gives him that very, very cold, "I'm not Bruce."
But this one
all right. So we have our answer. Cradle to Grave is better.
Oh, but
no.
I like the one.
I enjoyed this fight because, dude, it's Luc Besson.
Also, Scott Atkins, to his credit, what I love, and also you guys should really check out his video podcast, The Art of Fighting. It's great because he talks to a lot of other stunt performers and stuff. But like Scott Atkins, even if he's in a cameo role, he's guaranteed to make the most of it to where you're like, oh, he's making himself known in those scenes easily.
And I think it's because really because he had to he came up at a time where there weren't a lot of him. He wanted to really make a name of himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because every movie that he was in, he was extra about the shit. You know what I mean?
Was it Black? Because I remember he did Black Mass 2,
and
then he did The Medallion.
I remember him being in The Medallion, but I don't remember his name. I think, but like I said, it was really when you really look at his
him and Jackie had a good fight in that movie. So yeah, he definitely was trying to make the most of it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make an impression.
And you can really tell that he did, man. I mean, it's a shame that he's not one of the bigger names. And I think like him and Michael Jai White have the same problem. They're not that great with lines. But
hey, look, to his credit though, he's kicking up on that fucking direct to DVD market for fights. For
like I said, him and Michael Jai White are cut from the same fucking cloth. Like I said, yeah, we're not going to be rocking the A-list movies. But guess what? I got a movie this month. 2 months later, I'm going to Thailand. 3 weeks, about a month after that, I'm
Australia.
going back to the States. But look, after that, we're going down to New Orleans. We're going to chill there for a month, and then we're going to record. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's always going to be working, man. So I think it is kind of cool that Scott Atkins is in this. That actually kind of flew over my head that was even him. Like I looked at him twice. Like I didn't know it was him until the end of the fight where he threw the sledgehammer, almost hit him in the face.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this guy. All
right. Yeah, yeah. And the thing of it is, so after he does the whole fight, that's
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I did like how when he took off the leash, you saw Bart had this big old face. Kill him. No. Go get the fuck in there. Go on. Watch the movie.
Oh, but
that is white people when any minority doesn't do what they say. Why aren't you doing what I say? Do it.
Also, one other thing, guys. The martial arts choreographer for this movie was Yuan Wu-ping.
I am not surprised.
So to go back to your other question, D, about which one was better between this and Cradle to the Grave, gotta give it to this one, man. Gotta give it.
Hell yeah!
You gotta give it to anything Wu-ping touches
is awesome. Is already
you
awesome.
Credit that.
Awesome.
I would say that Cradle to the Grave was just more silly. It was fun to, it was fun and silly. Again, I don't really mean that. I could watch Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell get their asses handed to them by a movie star all day. So whatever.
Shout outs. So it gets to the point after Danny gets into the fight that Bart figures out where Danny was pretty much laying his head down, and he pretty much rolls up there with his crew alongside one Mr. Michael Lampert as a stranger. This is the most weirdest fucking random ass character ever. This motherfucker rolls in there with monk robes, all white.
Dude,
like, who's this guy? All of a sudden,
remember, Chris. We see him in that pit fight, hanging in the back, looking like a damn hidden character because the shadow was all over him. So he's
the bot over here.
He's just sitting back there. It's like you could barely see him. It's like that little silhouette is mostly shadow, but you can still see the white, like the white outline and shit. I'm like, yo, who's this? I'm like, bro, who's the hidden character? Who's the DLC character that's gonna show up?
That's what your cousin. That's what your 9-year-old cousin whispering in your ear. Yeah, man, I heard if you beat the game, you got to fight him.
You can't lose any rounds, and you got to get 2 perfect.
Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. You can't lose any rounds.
Can't lose any rounds.
Extra stipulation that doesn't exist that kids always add on.
You can't lose any rounds. No, you can't. No, you can't lose any rounds. You gotta kill. You have to beat all your opponents with 5 supers in a row. Finish 5 opponents in a row with a super.
I like to point out that Eris is partially right because that's actually an actual prerequisite to get fucking Gouken in Street Fighter 4. No bullshit. Because at first I was like, this is a bullshit. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. This is how you unlock Gouken in Street. I fucking hate you, Capcom.
To this day,
no, it was worse. No prerequisite is worse than what's his name? Than Shadow Jago.
Bruh.
I think the worst one to this day for me is actually how to fight Reptile when you see him in the background. Now, the reason why I say this is because I heard so many different versions. I don't know which one is real. So even if both of you told me, I'm like, y'all niggas is lying.
Can you imagine? Do you know how much my hair was getting pulled out when my cousin told me you have to beat Mortal Kombat without losing a round? And I cheesed out Goro with fucking Sub-Zero, and I was like, yeah, I'm about to whoop Shang Tsung's ass. Whoops me in a round. I had to reset the fucking console. I'm like, I fucking hate you, game. Glad the rest repeat until I found out ain't fucking tips and tricks. Yeah, here's how you get Reptile. And I'm like, I wanted to choke out my cousin right then and there. Like
the worst part about and Chris, you know the worst part is you don't even play as him. You just fight him.
Yeah,
You just fight him. Yeah,
just fight him.
you know what? Look. I will say this. I'm glad kids don't have to go through that. I will be honest with you. Yeah, we can be nostalgic about this, but I'm gonna be real. I'm glad none of you children went through none of that shit.
Like, hey kids, you just go to YouTube.
Lie to you.
Go to YouTube.
Lie to you.
Hey D, no. First of all, they don't have to go through it. It's called DLC.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna be nice and say it's called YouTube.
It's called YouTube.
It's called the YouTube.
I love Tony Kornheiser. Tony Kornheiser, yes, if you have your Google machine, you do not call it a Google machine. Calls it a Google. That is good and Jewish right there, yeah. If you have yourself a Google machine, you can actually see where it is. But a Google machine.
But
Are you serious?
I just like how Bart rolls up with his crew and the stranger rolls out of the fucking car and is like, I'm gonna let those guys handle Danny and then I'll just roll up there and stuff. My man, the stranger, after Danny handles the guys and stuff, with a little bit of a KOF,
you don't need to go in there.
With a little bit of a KOF assist from Blind Sam and his stepdaughter, because they occasionally come in there and trip up a guy or two during the whole fight.
What are you talking about? They ain't trip up anything, dog. He's the one who said, "Look, I figured out everything, and my uncle's coming." Listen, we can't run away. We gotta sit down, take a breather, figure stuff out. There's no time. Threw him in the closet. Just threw him in the closet and immediately went into kick-ass mode.
Bro.
He was one wacky mugging to the camera away from being Jackie Chan.
Stop! I want no trouble. Yo, but I just like how this. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's the echo coming from D.
Oh, damn, my bad.
Yo, I just like how the stranger decides, you know what? I also have a machete here. I'm going ahead and handle some business here. And I was like, wow.
My man rolled in with the Rambo 4 knife.
It's like, I got to handle it.
Like, man, my man got the Peru special. All right.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know Michael Lambert, he was actually one of the guys that Jackie faced off in Who Am I? He was one of the he was the blind guy that had like the blonde hair and the blonde fucking goatee and shit. That guy.
I remember him.
Yeah, that was him and stuff as part of the group. He's a stunt man. He's been in a lot of stuff, Bulletproof Monk, Monkey King, a lot of shit. So he still to this day is doing stunts.
Don't you just love it how he just plays nameless badasses? Like,
I mean, look, if
he looks
hey, worth a bolo.
No, I'm saying that's what makes it so great is you dress like a badass. You're completely nameless. Your whole job is to show up, beat this guy's ass, take a dive, and keep it moving.
Note the word take a dive.
Yeah. I mean, look, when he came in there, number one, he looked like he was a reject from the Matrix a little bit with the outfit.
He did. You know why he was rejected? Couldn't grow the dreads.
Couldn't, man.
Couldn't grow the dreads. Not gonna lie, the bald look was working.
And the whole sequence, man, holy shit!
When they get to the bathroom, I was
about to say the fight in the bathroom was great.
One of the things I always say is just cool is when you get that close court where it's literally CQC, and you have to like do those short punches. I'm like, yeah, you can grab somebody's head and just light up the fucking wall with them, and that's what they do. I loved it, bro.
But also, my
man headbutt the wall.
Bro, they were punching walls. They were fucking that bathroom up. But I think also another thing that I like about it, and it's one of the reasons why I grew over the years sour over it. I kind of hated the Bourne Identity movies because the Bourne Identity movies, when I remember watching the first time, I was just liking it because it's Matt Damon kicking the shit out of somebody. Like nobody expected that, right? But just also, you start noticing the amount of cutaways and the close and the shaky camera and shit. Yeah. And just how much it is. But this time, when you watch this movie, when they get in the bathroom, it feels very concise and like you can actually see the fist and all that stuff. Even when they're fighting with weapons, when he has the machete and Danny has the fucking the fireplace poker and shit. Like it's actually, you can see them actually connecting with the hits and all that stuff. And it's actually pretty dope.
good example, Chris. A lot of those movies actually at that same time were doing a lot of shaky cam, right?
Yeah.
And shaky cam only works to me when when it's like a driving scene, or you really want the crowd to feel that punch or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only just to give emphasis to a piece of action. When you do it, the whole entire scene is stupid to me. There's nothing guerrilla about it. It doesn't look cool to me. I mean, like not in like a hand-to-hand fighting scene. There's nothing cool about that. When you see that compared to something like and I know it's a little bit higher, but when you look at John Wick, you see how the camera's pointed.
Mm-hmm.
It's pointed at all the action. You see everything. You don't cut away or jump or do the whole shaky cam because it's cool. You know what I mean? You show the whole thing. You see every piece of action.
I'm gonna point out one particular fight scene of just, kind of shitty shaky cam, but it was just a part. One fight scene from Winter Soldier. You know which one I'm talking about.
You talking the back truck one?
Not the back truck. I'm trying to think, was it Winter Soldier where dude had to open up a crate, and inside that crate, like this is it was like a big ass magnetic, like a big magnet. I can't even remember it. I just know it's from the MCU. They had an action scene and it was just full of shaky cam.
I'm trying to think. We opened up the briefcase.
That might have been Age of Ultron.
No, you know what?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, it might have been. You know what?
Cam
You know what? Age of Ultron. I'm gonna say Age of Ultron, not Winter Soldier.
Because I remember Age of
Ultron and Black Widow's fight in Civil War in the beginning of the movie.
A Winter Soldier did have it, but again, like I said, they used it right. They used it so you can feel the impact of the scene. They use it because it's like fucking tanks on the ground. So of course you're gonna have the camera kind of jump a little bit. It wasn't made to, to be cool. You know what I mean? Because that's just a cool thing to do.
Also, Josh Whedon can't shoot action for shit in Age of Ultron, and I like that movie, but when they came to hand, it's like,
stop it!
Can't you tell?
Stop it, please!
Not just like stop it. Ease it up.
Combat.
Like what happened, bro? What happened?
That's why
what happened, man? You couldn't give Wu Ping a call.
That's why it's like even in Civil War, I can at least give the Russos credit because even like you said, like D said, the shaky cam, it was done in a way that's like at least you saw the impact. And it's like, all right, cool, fine.
Good example. Remember that when who was that did that? Was that Thor that did that at the airport scene when somebody went through the fucking wall and everything? You just saw everything shake and it was like kind of shaky and all that.
It might have been Thor
for that impact. You don't do it because. Oh man, you see that high kick?
Speaking of which, I like how when Danny kicks the mysterious stranger through the window and that piece of cloth off his clothing falls off, he just lands on the car. And I'm like, well, that sucks for you, guy.
You know what?
What made that part better is that Bob Hoskins really believed that parking this car in this corner of the city was going to keep the car safe.
Nah, bro.
You know what bothers me about that scene though? It's just me. It's just something I noticed. But I went over it 3 times. The Cockney accent disappeared for 2 seconds. And I don't know if it's just I heard it wrong, but it's like, hey Bob, did you forget you was acting right there? like something. It was just weird to me. Whatever.
But
that's something I picked up. I don't know.
I just like the final confrontation though when Bart is like Danny is beating the bricks off Bart, and Victoria and like Sam were just sitting there like, "Don't do it, Danny!" And Bart's doing the whole villain like, "You will always be an animal, Danny."
My favorite is Jet acting by throwing it, by saying lines. He killed my mother. He chokes him out, right? And he keeps choking him out. I'm like, dude, he's like, yo, Danny, just you're either gonna do it or you're not. Finally, he's like, kill me and get it over with. A man gets hit in the head with a freaking pot.
I like
the pot. He gets hit in the head with a potted plant, and Morgan Freeman delivers the best line. This is pure Morgan Freeman. He went from helpful Negro to that man can talk a lot of shit.
Oh, bro, I remember seeing this in theaters, and the fucking audience was dying laughing when he said that shit. I was like, "Yep."
It's like
the thing about
you gotta give Morgan Freeman one moment in these movies because Chris, remember when we saw Wanted in the theater, and you give him the line. It says you can put you can take the gun, put it into your mouth, and pull the trigger, or shoot this motherfucker, right? And we can get back to what we were doing. You gotta give anytime Morgan Freeman's in an action movie, you have to give him a moment like this.
Yep.
I thought it was funny though that Bob Hoskins sat and cut a whole full ass heel promo on this nigga, and then when he started getting choked out, I was like, hold on, y'all, he's not gonna kill him yet. Hey Bob, you have yet to say what you did to his mom sexually. Yeah, your whore mom. Yeah, I screwed everything. Okay, there you go. Now you can kill him.
No, D. How about but D, hold on. How about the level of disrespect? I mounted her.
That is some white man shit. That was
mounted her.
Look, I don't know how it is for Asian men. I can't speak for y'all. But black men, that was a swing. That was a swing.
Understand. That's
the fighting word. That's equivalent to you punched me in the chest. Now I'm gonna have to fight you back or kill you. One of the two.
That's like a dude saying, "Yeah, your girl sucked my dick the other night on the couch." Like, what the fuck? It's like, God damn.
Listen. I'm gonna keep it real.
It's the word mounted though.
Yeah, it's the word mounted. The word mounted, when you hear the word mounted, the American equivalent of that is, hey, she didn't fight back when I was balls deep in her.
Hey, or when a dude uses a real word to describe what he did to your girl, she was sucking on my scrotum, you motherfucker.
Diving over the fucking thing, like,
How dare you? That nigga used a medical word on you.
Just saying.
That's a fighting word right there, nigga.
Tommy over here don't even know what the fuck a scrotum is, and he just said scrotum. Goddamn.
Like, when I heard mounted, like, as soon as I heard mounted, I was like, oh, nah, he done went too far. I was like, yo, Jet, if you don't choke this dude out or at least punch him, just punch him in the throat and get it over with.
I mean, if I'm really trying
much like you did earlier that day, how you bit the how you bit homeboy in the chest. I think it'd be a good time to go for his nose. Penguin this nigga.
I mean, look, if I was really trying to get at it, dude, I'd be like, yeah, I was up in your girl's guts the other night. Boom, I get punched in the face. You know what? I respect it. You know, I deserve that. I had to come.
Yeah. Luckily for you, Danny understands what sex is and what rape is. So
Danny knows consent, unlike you guys.
No. Let's really point out the elephant in the room here. How about the fact that Danny had his "I remember everything" moment by just hearing a piece of music?
I mean,
that's how it usually goes. With trauma, that's how it usually goes.
I mean, he had the tear in his eye at the end of the movie when
it does kind of cross into hook rules. Like, Danny, you had to be like 2 years old. You know a lot. But then again, I don't know how trauma works.
But you know what's funny? You know the funniest scene, and I will always love that because we talked about this in Ninja Scroll. I like how Danny rolls up in the bathroom, Chick's taking a shower, and he's like, "Let me be careful.
I'm just gonna be as quiet as a church mouse."
Random fist through the wall.
Fist through the wall.
I got a question. I got a good question. And you know what? I know it's a movie. What if that was a woman that was behind the door and you punched the door?
Hey, D, hold on. D, I can answer. Hold on, wait. D, I can answer that. No. D, I can answer that. First of all, if it was the woman who went to the door instead of Danny, and that fist just came through and he did the freaking Sub-Zero grab her spinal cord and pull it out, I'd have been like, hey, you asked for it.
Also, Lewis Ledner, you kind of denied us some side boob action with the chick, screaming, and she rolls out there with the shower curtain. I'm just saying, could have hooked it up with us on that one.
I don't know, Chris. She was.
I mean, the shower curtain was already kind of see-through enough.
I know.
Hold on. Did you watch the unrated version of this movie?
No, I did not see the unrated.
There's an unrated version?
Oh, yeah, dude. When this thing came out on DVD, you had Unleashed, and I swear for the life of me, I saw Unleashed unrated. I'm going, y'all really want to sell this movie.
Hey, remember, this is during the time during DVDs where you had two different cuts.
There was.
Also the archaic days of, hey guys, you want the full screen version or the widescreen version?
The widescreen version, but no, it was always the unrated. Man. It was always those unrated versions, and you mainly got them with martial arts movies.
Also, I question your decision making skills, and as an adult, if you get full screen versions of any movies, I'm just saying.
especially
I question your lifestyle choices. That's all.
Especially when widescreen was on the rise.
I got the widescreen version of, I think it was like X-Men 2, and I was like, I will never do this again. Why did I do this? Did I think that would have been the better version for some reason? Why did I do this?
Here's why I knew the tide was turning on this. Every time I walked inside of a Walmart or the BX or any place, all them full screen versions of Lord of the Rings were still on the fucking shelf because all the widescreens were taken. I was like, "Whoop, the tide has shifted, folks. Nobody wants full screen anymore."
That was definitely during the height of CRTs going bye-bye.
Like, hey, I want to see the fucking Helm's Deep fight on widescreen. Fuck that full screen shit. I want to see the whole thing.
It's like better yet, you also got the widescreen versions of these movies. Just to feel like, oh, so this is what it was like when you see it in the theaters.
Yeah,
it quote unquote looks more cinematic when it's in widescreen.
I mean, look, once you like you said, once you got the HD TVs, it was a wrap.
Right,
it's a done deal. But Danny,
man, Plasma had like a 3-year life, man. That was cool, man. Plasma almost made it.
Almost made it.
Well, no, Plasma evolved. It came back as OLED TVs.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I like it as like the fact at the end, Danny, Sam, and Veronica, they made themselves back to New York because that's where they were originally from. They made it back to Carnegie Hall. Carnegie Hall. So Danny's in New York now. And as he hears that last piece of music that he remembers his mom, he gets that tear going down his eye, and I was like,
single tear,
the Native American tear.
No. I mean, yeah, you can say the crying Native American. I always like to call it shedding a man tear.
Yeah,
that was a man tear, and I don't call that the Indian cry tear. I call that clearly an Italian motherfucker in brown paint tear.
Because, God, just watching that scene alone, I'm like, this was a good ending. But when I look at the whole movie overall, I go, this is like. What would be the Diet Coke comparison of this? I got it. Replicant.
Yeah.
Minus the cloning. Just get rid of the cloning aspect.
This is Replicant. Yeah,
it's Replicant.
Right. You want to know why so I remember this movie when I saw it in theaters. This is 2005 was very much a weird time because so Unleashed came out the same weekend as that Will Ferrell movie Kicking and Screaming, which is low-key kind of a funny movie to me. That's just me. But Monster-in-Law, that J-Lo and the other movie with was it Bridget
was that Bridget Fonda?
Yeah, Bridget Fonda.
It was
Bridget Fonda and J-Lo. That was like a huge fucking movie. And I remember Unleashed came out that same weekend, and I just remember like Monster-in-Law was like this big hit, which to this day I never even watched that fucking movie.
Well, you also gotta remember this was during that time when J-Lo was still like that it girl for about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, remember, this is when white women all of a sudden discovered. So you mean the ass is actually attractive? What?
But also,
hey, have you heard this?
But I also have to bring up another movie that came out the same weekend. Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh my God. Was that
a weird movie?
Was that Christian Bale?
Kingdom of Heaven was our boy from me and Sue's boy from it's the Ridley Scott movie. It was Liam Neeson, Orlando Bloom, Jeremy Irons, and Ava Green. It was basically about like Jerusalem and all that shit. It was the Crusades, basically. That's all it was.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one, which it was weird, and It's one of those things that to this day I'm like, how is this a global phenomenon? I still don't get it. I don't understand it.
Look, I don't understand why these epics of white people killing indigenous people. You know,
no, there's a bunch of white people playing fucking Israelites, and what is going on here? Like,
it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. I was going through all my comic book movies, and apparently, what was it? Gods of Egypt was a comic book, and I was like, let me just say something. I actually watched this fucking movie. Fuck all of y'all. Like,
I watched it too. Guess what? Look, to this day, I still love the fact that Chadwick Boseman did what most people in his shoes did. This shit's a fucking check so I can buy a fucking car, nigga. I don't take this shit.
You know that's what exactly he did.
Like look, once I'm done with this movie, the tundra is paid. Like, not that CJ. Once I'm done with this movie, the tundra is paid off, nigga.
Yeah, the one that always killed me is that Egyptians will come out, black people like, yeah, you're not really Egyptian. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, wouldn't technically your gods be dark skinned? Shut the fuck up.
I mean, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of stuff to look at gods in Egypt, which I'm like, a bunch of white people, and then Chadwick Boseman. I'm like, it is kind of very offensive. But past that, I'm like,
super offensive. I'm like, yo, look. And I'm not saying that you had to have an all Egyptian cast. I'm not even saying that. And I'm not even saying you couldn't have.
Give me two token Egyptians at least. Fuck.
Like, good example, Chris. The only motherfucker we would let go was Gerard Butler. That would be the only one. Like, look, white people got to have one.
I mean, dude, you couldn't even get Oda Fair, get your token guy that's not Egyptian, but he could play Egyptian at least. Fuck.
I mean, you couldn't get you just could. No, you know what they really messed up? They didn't get Scarlett Johansson. That's where it really fucked up. This would have been all over.
Well,
this would have been all over. Solved it really.
Listen.
Guys
of Egypt would have been a global phenomenon with Scarlett Johansson. So you're right.
Yo. I don't know if it made, and I said on the review, I don't know if it made budget, but it made money.
Oh,
people would see this shit.
It broke even. It wasn't huge. It wasn't a hit. It just broke even.
Oh my god! I hope it didn't. I hope the advertiser ate them up and they didn't make a dime in profit.
Man. Speaking of breaking even, this movie had like a $45 million budget for Unleashed, and it only made like $50 million.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of those movies that probably made more on the DVD side of things.
I definitely think this thing did well enough to earn, be good on the DVD side. I think probably on the foreign side, it's probably fine. Like, it did well on the foreign side. America.
Well, also two other movies that also was like a thing that year that was actually low key big. Crash. And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which the funny thing about Hitchhiker's Guide is like motherfuckers love the movie, but I'm like, but the movie like kind of sort of tanked. So what the fuck is the love coming from here?
Actually, that's the reason why. People that know the book said it was some shit. Like, I don't know.
I heard opposite where people that watched the book said it was okay.
Accurate, but I heard a lot of people didn't like it. So I fucking don't know. Like to me, it seemed like one of those things that they really, really wanted to make. And it probably has a cult following, but wow. Also, Crash is trash. Crash is one of the worst movies ever. Fuck that movie, man.
Everybody is racist today. Yay.
I hate Crash.
Oh, that was
I remember watching Crash the first time. I was like, so why is this movie good?
Hey kids, you want to see Sandra Bullock say somebody's a nigger? Oh Christ, this crazy, right?
Yeah, because yeah. So yeah, doing like single D when he's single at 22. Really? Yeah, that really made my dick hard. Hearing one of my childhood crushes say nigger. Yeah.
But also,
that really did it for me.
But also,
that's what I wanted to wake up to.
But also, another movie that came out that I think we did a podcast on that Sue talked about, Mindhunters.
Yep.
Oh, yes, we did.
And Mindhunters was another movie that came out overseas first. And then it sat in like distribution hell for so long.
So Dimension came in and was like, all right, we'll put it out.
Like Dimension came in and released a movie like I think 2 years.
It was like 2 years. It was 2 years.
Like 2 years before it was because I remember seeing the movie in 2003, and this movie didn't come out to like 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Also, I have to mention these other movies because it kind of falls in the realm of being around the same time. Fucking Guess Who? Bernie Mac and Ashton. You got punked, Kutcher.
Yo, I got a question.
Movie.
So, how many people really went to watch that shit?
That was a weird. That was a very.
It was a weird,
movie.
modest hit, but I remember critics saying, "Yeah, it's trash."
I think Ebert was the only one that was like, "Yeah, it's okay." Because Ebert was like,
look, the white guy with a black wife. I saw nothing wrong with this.
No, because Ebert was like everybody else with Guess Who, whereas like Bernie Mac carries that fucking movie. Like,
he absolutely carried that movie.
Oh, duh. I didn't watch it. I never watched it though.
Also, $1 Million Baby with the saddest fucking ending ever.
$1 Million Baby had to be. That was a depressing ass movie.
Clint Eastwood, I'm gonna take you off life support.
This girl got her shit rocked.
She got punched and broke her neck on a fucking dump. Like, what?
So let me get this straight. We do all this build up. This bitch Gwen Stacy's herself.
Side note. I want people to understand this. Me and D saw Amazing Spider-Man 2 in theaters. You could hear a pin drop when you heard the thud when Gwen Stacy fell, and D was holding back laughter like, oh my god, did that happen, Chris? I'm like, yes, it did.
Like, it happened.
Anyway.
Oh yeah. Also, last one. Ice Cube, Are We There Yet? Yeah, that came out in 05. That was another one.
To this day, I still question Ice Cube as a man.
Really?
Because Chris, let me just be real. He is the fucking Roddy Piper of my life. What all the answers? I changed the question. Like, yo, this nigga goes to straight up thug to, hey, I'm an actor now. To, hey, I care about the community. Hey.
Sir, before he became an actor, MTV kind of showed his he's a social activist. Like, he knows his shit. Like, I
know he knows it, but it's like every time I think I have him squared down, he does some shit. He'll either do some herb shit or do some shit. Like, good example, this last year he did. Yeah, man, like with the whole bill. Okay, Q, you got your answer from the black community. Give this some time. Talk to the right people. Why are you giving out to the public? Why are you talking to Trump? What are you doing? That's what I'm saying. Every time I think I know what Cube's doing, he does some different shit.
I don't know. You know what?
Wait, D, hold on, D. Let me ask you a question. I gotta ask you a question, sir.
The old Cube's back. Are We There Yet comes out. What?
I really gotta ask you a question. Since you said that he is he's Roddy Piper for you. Does that mean that you would expect to see Ice Cube in the remake of They Live?
Go fight John Cena in an alley or something.
I was thinking of something like that.
John Cena.
Because John Cena is the WWE guy that's technically not in WWE, so you could put him in shit. But no. Only reason why I laugh is because it would be Cube to do that movie. But this time we're going to do it from the black man's perspective.
Stay woke, nigga.
Stay woke.
Say, y'all wanted me to do movies like this and say, and say what y'all want me to say. Like, yes, Cube, that's what social activism is. Why it had to be different now? That's really what it is with Cube.
But I would say this. Unleashed. It was a fun movie to go through. It, like I said, it goes by really quick. It doesn't linger, which I give again. I think that's to Luke Besson's credit and even Louis Lettner, because they know how to kind of get in and out with their movies. They don't let the shit like, we're gonna make a 2-hour movie. It's like, no, this is about 1:40. Let's get the shit over with. Done.
I don't know. It kind of like for me. It kind of slowed up in the middle. You know what I mean? And for me, it just like when he was trying to learn who he was and all that. it really did feel like the movie kind of hit the brake a little bit too hard for me.
Yeah.
But it was fine. It was fine. I still agree. It does kind of go back quick, but it slowed its pace a little bit too. It slowed up just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
But you can hold on. See, we can also add another thing. This movie tried to have. It was actually fighting for the number one spot of like fastest way to wrap up the third act. Like behind falling just 2 seconds short of Kiss of the Dragon.
Bruh.
Yo, how you like it? I like how like I said, the plot slowed down super slow to me, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody was running down a hallway, and they start flipping, and then that final stomp is them hitting the motherfucking accelerator. And he just shed it because the second he learned who his mom was, like, all right, let's wrap it up, y'all.
Brother, you are not lying about Kiss.
Like what?
You are not lying about Kiss of the Dragon, because as soon as Jet stepped foot in that police station, you see that giant fucking hand bust through the glass. I was like, and the third act starts. I'm like, what?
Sound the alert!
That's another one. That's another movie. Me and Chris had our choice between those two, and like Chris, like we could either do. Chris did say that we haven't done Kiss of the Dragon, and we haven't done Unleash yet. And I was like, let's get Unleash out the way. Let's get that one out the way.
Because Kiss of the Dragon is one of those we really gotta talk about it, because it's that last fight scene with fucking little man, big man is like the funniest shit ever to this day. Like, first
of all, Chris, you gotta understand he's going up against the HB Baxter twins.
First off, sir, I hate to say it like this. That's the white version of me and you.
Yes. I accept it.
I'm just saying.
You gotta hurry up and do that movie now, Chris. See, now you just sped it up for us to hurry up and do that movie.
Hey,
also, much like Bob Hoskins, we don't get a lot of times on this show to ever talk about Shucky Cario. So yes, I would love for us to talk about it. Shucky Cario is one of my favorite foreign actors that we just don't get to talk about him.
He goes for it, and you are just like, you're gonna love it. Oh,
here's the funny thing. The movie that we're also going to do eventually is Wing Commander. He's in Wing Commander, and let me tell you something. He's the only one.
Also,
he's the only one giving a fuck.
Also, and D, I hate to do this to you. Godchild, we're gonna do Airborne. We gotta knock that shit out.
Oh no. Hey, Godchild, shut the fuck up. It's coming.
It's coming.
I already told this tall motherfucker that we doing it. It's coming.
Hey,
y'all little niggas tell me one more time.
Hey,
sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry, all y'all younger millennials, y'all mamas sat y'all in front of the TV, and the Disney Channel came on, and that movie came on like 6 times and shit. Ooh, that's part of my childhood. I hope when I get older, I bother a nigga that got a fucking podcast. When y'all gonna do Airborne? When y'all gonna do Airborne? Nigga, we're doing it, nigga.
Yeah, we get to talk about Eric from Little Mermaid, the prince.
Actually, no, I'm offended. Actually. None of y'all niggas came out. Look, none of these niggas came out for us when we did heavyweights.
Yeah,
Anyways, that is Unleashed, everybody. What is next on this on our journey? What's next?
Seeing how hold on, what day is it? You know what? Yeah, we got like another I forgot we got another week. So we're going to Donnie Yen this time. And this time we're gonna do not the Fist of Legend. What's it called, Eris?
The Legend of the Fist. The Return of Shinzen.
Yeah. But because it was so funny, we were going to do the Fist of Legend starring Jet Li, and I was like, wait a minute, they're the same fucking movie.
Just one is more on the
epic with Donnie Yen, but still, it's the same fucking movie. Let's do the better of the two.
No, see, you can never say that it's the same movie, D, because there was a Fist of Fury movie that Donnie Yen did, and that was a series.
Yeah.
You know what? I heard about that. He did another series. He did another series in China, didn't he? It was him with like Michelle Yeoh or something like that.
No, that was a movie that he was in. I believe it was.
I know that was a movie. I'm thinking that's something else.
It was a movie that he got called Reign of the Assassins.
Actually,
I remember him being in like another show, just like what you just said, though. You know what I mean? It might have been Fist of Fury.
Actually, Legend of the Fist is basically the sequel to Fist of Legend.
Yeah, it's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
Either way, same character.
Same character. Just Donnie Yen is playing Chen Zhen this time instead of Jet Li, because Jet Li was busy in America still doing things in 2010.
I mean, you also gotta remember that this, like, just that whole story, the whole Chen Zhen character is, while it's a sequel to Fist of Fury, it's a sequel to Fist of Legend. Fist of Legend is just a remake to Fist of Fury.
But also, you also gotta realize this is like the Chinese version of making a movie about Dr. King. There's going to be like 5 or 6 of them.
Plus, plus if you really want to do speaking of Jet Li already has a movie that I'd still say is like his best big budget martial arts movie, and that's a Fearless.
Yeah,
Fearless. Yeah.
See, with Fearless, we finally get to see the movie about the master that inspired Chen Zhen to go on that fucking rampage, beating up the Japanese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and Fearless, man, that ending to me still gets me. I'm like, oh.
Dude, that ending gets me too. I was like, oh, they really did it. Not only that, we really do got to do Fearless, because was it Fearless? No, sorry, True Legend. True Legend is technically the last David Carradine movie.
Oh God, True Legend.
True Legend. That's another sad one.
Do I need to see a kid get thrown into the water again?
You can't. Okay, look, Chris. You say you need to see a kid get thrown into the water. Would you rather see a kid get thrown into the water, or would you rather see a baby get thrown into the fire with Goemon?
True.
Hey, all right. Look. The point is this. I'm gonna think about that one, because I don't.
True Legend definitely working at the video store at the time. A lot of people really hyped it up big time.
I remember everybody hyping it up, but I finally watched it.
I mean, there was genuine reason for the hype. True Legend was known as the very first 3D martial arts movie.
Yeah, I remember that remember 3D being the thing. Wow.
Yep. Also, David Carradine's last movie, so they really hyped it up even more. So that was
which, spoiler alert, he's only in it for like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, but anyways, folks, that is it for Unleashed, and we'll see you next week for Legend of the Fist. So we'll catch you guys later. Peace.